This is Late Night Health. This is the radio show that cares about the most important part of your life, your health. During the next hour, the insane Daryl Wayne and I are going to take a look at things that touch each and every one of us. You know, as we grow older, sometimes we need a caregiver. And during the second part of our show, we'll talk about a woman who had to take care of her family and her husband when he had a heart transplant. We'll find out more about that with her recently released memoir, On My Way Back to You, and her name is Sarah Cart. We will also spend the first part of our show talking about seniors and during Older Americans Month. And we go to the CDC's headquarters, if I'm not mistaken, in Atlanta, Georgia, and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. And we're going to spend some time with Dr. Gwen Bergen. Did I get that right, Gwen?
Bergen, Doc.
Bergen, all right, got it, Doc. And we've got that. So what is the Still Going Strong campaign all about?
So, motor vehicle crashes and falls are the leading cause of injury and injury death for older adults. And not only do they result in physical injuries, but they can lead to the older adult limiting their mobility and becoming less independent. And this limitation in mobility and independence can also lead to social isolation, as the older adult is less likely to get out and do the things they want and need to do. Fortunately, these injuries are very preventable, and CDC created the Still Going Strong campaign to inform older adults and caregivers about ways they can prevent these injuries. The Still Going Strong campaign is on the web at cdc.gov/stillgoingstrong, and that's all one word. It gives older adults and their caregivers a lot of tips on how to prevent injury.
I'm going to ask you to give that again, just a little bit slower in case somebody is a little bit older and has trouble hearing.
That website is cdc.gov/stillgoingstrong.
Excellent. You know, I'm thinking about car accidents a number of years ago here in Southern California. And Daryl, you may remember this. And an older man, I think he was in his 90s, actually drove into a restaurant and killed a number of people. I cannot imagine that. He was hurt, but not seriously, at least physically. Mentally, that's got to just knocked him out. Is that part of the Still Going Strong campaign to prevent accidents like that?
Part of this is to prevent motor vehicle crashes that can lead to severe injury in both the driver and other people. So we do offer tips for staying safe on the road. Some examples including driving when conditions are safest, such as during daylight and in good weather. Never, of course, drinking alcohol and driving. Another tip is, particularly for older adults, is to plan your drive ahead of time and find the safest route, one that has well-lit streets, intersections where if you have to make a left turn, there's a signal to help you, and easy parking. And those are a few of the tips we offer on the Still Going Strong website for continuing to drive safely.
When I'm going to ask a question that I don't like I don't think I'm going to like the answer. What is considered an older American? And please, Gwen, be careful here, okay? All right.
We commonly use the age 65 and older, as 65 is a common retirement age in the United States. We do know that's when physical changes may start happening that may make you more likely to have these injuries. Fortunately, these physical changes, many of them can be prevented or can be reduced in terms of their impact?
I had lunch, and I've mentioned this a couple of times with a friend of mine who's going to turn 80 this year. Um, he has an extensive career teaching and leading at a university. And we were talking about he still has things that he wants to accomplish. Rather than another friend of mine who's considerably younger by at least 10%, he just sits by the phone and waits for it to ring. How do we get the two guys to meet?
That's an important message of our campaign is that even as you age, you can still do the things you used to enjoy doing, and you can prevent injury at the same time. Particularly with this new release of our campaign, we want to make the point that it's very important to get out there and keep doing things, and especially to stay socially connected, as staying socially connected can have potential health benefits, such as improving your heart health and your emotional well-being, and it even may improve, it's been associated with improved cognitive function. So it's very important to keep going like your first friend does.
There's a saying, no man, and I'm going to update it, no person is an island. We've done some shows where with people age, friends drop off, they move away, they pass away, spouses move away, or you get divorced, they die, and people become isolated, and in that isolation, their mental health can deteriorate, which can cause accidents. Excuse me, I'm burping. Um, can cause accidents. Am I correct in that?
We see it going both ways. There is I believe, a slight link between social isolation and increased fall risk. But also what we know is that having being injured can result in you being less able to get around and do things, and that can also lead to social isolation, which is why we have added social isolation as a topic to our injury prevention campaign because we do feel the two are related.
What is the purpose? We've just got about a minute and a half or so until the end of this segment. We've got another 10 minutes to continue our conversation. Tell us about the CDC, the Center for Disease Control.
So the Center for Disease Control and Prevention works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to prevent disease and injury in Americans. Many people aren't aware that we have an injury center. Injuries are a leading cause of death and disability for both younger Americans and older Americans. And within the injury center, our branch works on preventing motor vehicle crashes, preventing falls, and preventing traumatic brain injuries. Motor vehicle crashes and falls are a particular problem for older adults, and both of these causes of injury can result in traumatic brain injuries, which are serious head injuries, which again can seriously impact your ability to get around and do the things you want and need to do.
I think that one of the fears as we all grow older, and that doesn't, I think that includes everybody from a teenager to somebody in their 90s or even above, as we have more 100-year-old people having brain injury of one kind or another is significant uh, to think about, and you want to avoid that. All right, our guest from the CDC is Dr. Gwen Bergen, and she's the team lead for the safety promotion team in the applied sciences branch of the Division of Injury Prevention at CDC. Boy, would I like to see her business card. All right, this is Late Night Health. I'm Mark Allen. Don't go away. The insane Daryl Wayne and I return with our guest in just a couple months. Late Night Health is proud of our partnership with the EBC, the Evolutionary Business Council. Check them out at ebcouncil.com.
You're listening to Late Night Health with Mark Allen. The show continues in a moment.
Recently, I met Jacqueline from Bright here in Los Angeles. She gave me a hearing exam and then showed me how to hear again with the new Signia Pure Series hearing aids, and she can give you your life back too. I hear birds chirping, birds cooing, and even my wife. They easily connect to my smartphone. The Signia hearing aids are amazing, and with the charge and go, I don't have to fiddle with batteries and hear all day long. Not hearing is frustrating for you and your family. I know you don't have a problem, but trust me, call Bright Here now for a free hearing exam, a $125 value, yours free, just for making an appointment now. There are offices throughout the Los Angeles area. Call Bright Here now at 323-424-7100. That's 323-424-7100 for a free hearing exam. There's no obligation. Call now, 323-424-7100, or visit them on the web at brighthere.com.
If you're listening to Late Night Health right now, you're part of the growing target of baby boomers we're serving. Hi, I'm Daryl Wayne, producer of Late Night Health, inviting you to join the Late Night Health family. If you have any business targeting the growing boomer market, Late Night Health is the ideal advertising vehicle for you. From vitamins to insurance, alternative health to Western-style medicine, Late Night Health caters to the growing population of those over 40 years old. This vibrant demographic has expendable income to fight aging, purchase travel, take care of aging parents, or just have fun. Find out about the advertising opportunities with Late Night Health. Call us at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308, or email us at info@latenighthealth.com. That's info@latenighthealth.com. Join Late Night Health as we empower people to take charge of their own health care. Call now at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308. Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Words are a critical aspect of success. How you get your point across is a crucial part of what makes anything sell. So do it right and hire a writer. Whether it's articles, blog posts, technical writings, website content, product descriptions, or ghostwriting anything from a novel to a nonfiction book about your navel, contact Servet Hassan. If you want it to sell, write it right. Email Servet at servet@servethassan.com.
It's time to tackle a tough topic, one that affects us all. We're talking about sexism in the workplace. The award-winning Identifying the Elephant in the Room series is back and ready to tackle some complicated communications issues again. This spring, we're focusing on critical communication strategies in the face of sexism. Join us as we hear from professionals in the natural products industry who have valuable career lessons to share and real-world experience to discuss from all sides of the elephant. It's time to have an honest and open conversation about the impact of sexism in the workplace and how we can make it better for everyone. Identifying the Elephant in the Room series starts March 16th. Register today at inicibox.vfairs.com. That's INICIBOX.VFAIRS.com and join the conversation to be part of the solution. Late Night Health continues. I'm Mark Allen, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. And Daryl,
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about accidents, falling and things like that. You fell a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
That was traumatic.
I took a tumble transitioning from the bedroom to the restroom in the middle of the night into the bathroom. And I smashed my foot pretty good. I knew it was broken. And I went to the emergency. They said, no, it's fine. Go home. Take a couple of aspirin. It took about 6 months for the proper diagnosis to take place. And what they were doing is they were
weighing me or X-raying my foot without any weight on it. And when you put weight on it, you could see that I had broken several bones on the top of my foot, but nobody was seeing it. So yeah, I was down for a while, and it's like you could not put any weight at all on my right foot for 12 weeks.
So
That's really inconvenient.
Yeah, and the pain. I remember
yeah.
after you had surgery, visiting you in the hospital.
Not a happy camper.
Not a happy
Because I had never been in the hospital before.
I get that. Well, were you born in a hospital, or were you
I think
born
so.
I'm sorry?
Hollow log. Yeah, I was born in a hospital.
Okay, so your second visit.
Yeah.
Gwen, is that a common fall? Getting out of bed, middle of the night, you're sleepy, you have to pee, and you stagger to the bathroom, and you fall, either going or coming.
One of the resources we have, and I believe you can get to it through Still Going Strong, is a brochure that helps you check your home for safety hazards. It is common for older adults to fall because of hazards in their home, but there are checklists that you can use to check your home. One of the important tips is it's good to have night lights at home that light the route to your bathroom, as that is a common cause of falls, is that older adults get up and they're in a hurry and the lighting's not good. So unfortunately, they do fall.
They being seniors.
Yes.
And by her definition, I meet that requirement, yeah.
I think that, but what about people who need it dark? I don't personally, but some people like my wife, they want no light at all, right? I guess they just have to accommodate.
There are night lights that go off based on motion detecting lights, so
Right.
that those would be dark until you got up and moved. So that is a solution for people who do like it dark, or they could keep a lamp right next to their bedside that's easy to turn on.
That's a good idea. Or you can use your phone, pick up your phone, it automatically goes on, and point it at the ground. And but who would, we need the CDC to tell us things like this. The Still Going Strong campaign, how old is it, and how did it come to be?
So the Still Going Strong campaign was first released in 2019. This is our second release to update materials and add new topics. We had at first focused, like for older adult fall prevention, we have focused on helping healthcare providers make fall prevention a routine part of clinical care for older adults, so that healthcare providers are screening older adults once a year at least to see if they're at risk for a fall, and if they're at risk for a fall, following up to assess them and then intervene by recommending evidence-based strategies to reduce their fall risk. We realized that in order for this to be effective, it's not sufficient that the doctor just recommend, go take a Tai Chi class to reduce your fall risk. The older adult also has to follow through and take that class. And we realized
Aha.
that that older adults and caregivers don't always, they may see falls as a natural part of aging and may not recognize that there are ways to prevent falls. And the same holds true for declining driving abilities as you age. We wanted to get the message out to older adults and their caregivers that these injuries can be prevented.
I was thinking about driving, and thinking of my mom, and in fact my mother-in-law, both. Neither one at a certain age, and I don't know what that was, decided not to drive at night. And I think everybody, young people, old people, middle-aged people, they all have a diminished driving capacity when it's dark. You can't see where you're going. It's harder to drive, right? And And if you're in a city like Atlanta and every other street is called Peachtree, you can get, it's very confusing. What can an older adult, or for that matter, anybody do to make it easier? Because you've got, sometimes you have to go to the store at 8 o'clock at night and it's raining and it's cold. You need cold medicine, you need a chicken, whatever it might be.
We There are things particularly older adults can do. They can talk to their healthcare provider who can help them determine their fitness to keep driving. They can work with, there are occupational therapists who specialize in working with older adults to help them make sure their car fits them as well as possible, to see what kind of precautions that older adult might want to take when they drive. Finally, we do offer a tool called My Mobility Plan that's available off of the Still Going Strong website. And one of the exercises it takes you through is trying to think of alternate ways to get around if the method of transportation you're currently using, if you can't use it any longer. So, for example, if you want to limit your driving or you can't drive anymore, think of other options. With all of the home delivery options we have today, it might be possible to have something delivered to your home, depending on where you live, in just a matter of an hour or so, so that you don't have to drive.
And there are special rates for Uber and Lyft, if I'm not mistaken.
My mother actually stopped driving a year ago, decided it wasn't safe any longer. And yes, she uses Uber and Lyft to get around, along with a local mobility van.
Got it. The and there are also driving courses. AARP offers one. I think it's inexpensive, like $30, where it teaches defensive driving for those of us who may be over 40. Is that a good idea for people to do?
One of the recommendations on our My Mobility Plan is to check into a driving course like that. Along with improving your driving skills, some of them lead to reductions in your insurance rates.
Yay! Um, and that's obviously a very good thing to do. As we wrap up, what would be the first 3 things that a senior should do to prevent falls and prevent traffic accidents?
So there are 3 things, key things. There are a lot of other tips on our website, but I think the 3 key things are, first of all, physical activity. We're all familiar with how important it might be to do aerobic activity to prevent heart disease and other chronic diseases. For injuries, it's actually important to do also activities that increase your muscle strength, activities that improve your balance and keep you or improve your flexibility. So an example,
I'm gonna tell people the other tips are gonna be at the website, which is, and help me out here, cdc.gov/
Still Going Strong, all one word.
cdc.gov/ still going strong. Dr. Gwen, thank you very much for being with us. Dr. Gwen Bergen. She's the Safety Promotion Team Lead for the Division of Injury Prevention at the CDC's Injury Center. I'm Mark Allen, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. Don't go away. More coming up.